You can comment anything you want. We can talk about any topic you want to. We just hang out and talk about conspiracies. So 9/11, the moon landing, flat Earth. We can talk about anything you want. Um, right now, I'm going to tell you what that video is about. I just posted a link to a video. Um, and that video is the video I made for tonight's show. The one I was attempting to show you. Uh, Sorry that the audio wouldn't work. I apparently need a better speaker because my microphone just won't pick it up. My microphone works fine for this, but it just won't pick up the sound on my laptop. So I'm going to have to get a better speaker to get around that, I guess. We'll try different things. But for now, that's the way to watch the video. And what that video is about is the Clinton body count. I go way into all the people that have been killed around the Clintons and the circumstances behind their different deaths. So I thought it was kind of cool and interesting. It was definitely creepy to do, you know, 56 people, that's if you leave people out. Like I mentioned it in the video, but I wish I'd have went into it deeper. But JFK Jr., I think that they had JFK Jr. killed to win that Senate seat, but that's just me. Well, it's not just me. That's actually a conspiracy theory. You can look up videos on that. But he was winning that election. He was going to be the nominee. And all of a sudden, his plane crashes. And, they've known 16 other people who died in plane crashes. They're very familiar with getting rid of people in that way. But I may have picked a bad time of day to do this. I noticed there's only 2 people here right now. But I'm going to keep rambling. I wrote down some things we can talk about. But watch that video. That's on the Clinton body count. And that's what these are. I make a little video. I try to show it, but I still haven't fixed the damn audio problems. You'll notice that I don't know much about computers and I'm not very punctual. So my things will start, I'll say they're going to start at 4 and I'll be here at 4:10 like today. But I apologize for that. I'm going to stop paying attention to how many people are watching because it's bumming me out. But I'll watch for comments. So I'm going to move my phone to where it's not in my field of vision. Anyway. So you guys can talk about whatever you want. So comments are very welcome and wanted. Talk all you want. Let me go into some of the things that I wrote down just to bring up topics to talk about until we get some comments going in the comment section. That's what this is really about, is talking back and forth. But I'll throw around some of the things that I wrote down to talk about until we get some comments. So let's start with, how about we start with that new Kaepernick Nike ad, the Colin Kaepernick Nike ad. Now, I, for one, I guess I'll just broad stroke it. I, for one, am happy with the Nike ad, but I take it for what it is. For Nike, it's a publicity stunt, and it's a brilliant publicity stunt. And I think, and I'll go a little deeper into it, I think it was actually a stock maneuver too. I think they knew that their stock would drop dramatically when they first announced it, but that it would rebound. So they would be able to buy up a lot of Nike stock. I'd have to look into it and see if a lot of Nike stock was bought up. But I bet you, because it's on its way back up already, it's of course going to rebound. But I think there was definitely a lot behind it. They at least knew they were going to make a lot of money on this, and they will. They're going to get tons. Right now, they're getting tons of free exposure. I know I've had at least 6 posts on my timeline about about Nike. And I don't usually talk about Nike at all. I stopped wearing Nikes a while back, not because of child labor, because I really wouldn't be able to pick from very many shoes at all if I eliminated child labor, because that is a huge problem on our earth. And that reminds me, people are giving Kaepernick a hard time because Nike uses child labor. And I don't think that's exactly fair, because how is he supposed to be? How pure is he supposed to be? Can he make a living? And the exposure is there too, because this brings not just more exposure to Nike, but more exposure to Colin Kaepernick and everything Colin Kaepernick stands for, and what his protest was really about. It opens up new dialogues again, makes people start talking about, well, what was he really protesting? So that all gets back out there. So yeah, Nike is an evil corporation. They're doing this for money. I think Colin Kaepernick's doing it for exposure and probably money too. And I don't fault him for that. I can't really fault the man for wanting to make some money or have an income. He's given up a lot for the cause. And I don't see anything wrong with him making some money for an advertising campaign. And as far as Nike goes, they're not a stupid company. I believe with everything in my being that it was very calculated, very thought out decision. They had $1 million meeting in a room and sat there and thought about what was going to make them the most money. And this is what they came out with. So you watch, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off big for Nike. And I hope, and I think it will pay off big for Colin Kaepernick as well. Because Colin Kaepernick would be a starting quarterback if he was allowed to be in the NFL. He's been blacklisted from the NFL. I believe he could still come in and start and be better than half the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, all of the backup quarterbacks in the NFL, and definitely better than every third stringer in the NFL. He should be on a roster, is my point. He would be on a roster if it wasn't for the fact that he took a knee. Now, others have taken a knee and they weren't ostracized, but they've made an example of Colin Kaepernick, and hopefully this brings exposure not just to the Black Lives Matter movement and everything Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee for, but brings exposure to Colin Kaepernick and the fact that he was blackballed from the NFL, and hopefully he's allowed to return, because that's got to be a bummer. I can't imagine giving up the right to do or the ability to do the thing you love the most. That would drive me nuts. Like, that'd be like giving up comedy or giving up doing these videos, giving up playing games, whatever. More like doing comedy. It'd be like giving up comedy. That would be the big sacrifice. I could maybe give up doing Facebook Live. It's fun though. I wish I was a little better at it or had better equipment and better internet so that I could use my OBS and it would look really slick. Like, it would just be able to see this part of the screen, the box. It wouldn't look like this. This is what it looks like to me. It's not supposed to be what it looks like to you. But this is the best I could do. So hopefully this is good enough. Hopefully it looks good to you. And this is entertaining. But anyways, I was just talking about Colin Kaepernick in the Nike ad and how that was a brilliant marketing campaign. It's brilliant. You're getting so much exposure, but at the same time, like I said, you're getting good exposure as well, because it's opening up the dialogues again on television and getting the people talking about what Colin Kaepernick was actually protesting. And that's always good. So yes, Nike's a terrible company. Nike is awful. They use child labor. They use all kinds of messed up practices. But I'm going to be in favor of this ad campaign for this one particular thing, and that's possible. I want to remind progressives that you can be in favor. You can think that Donald Trump did something right. That is possible. It maybe not happened yet. Maybe not happened yet for you, but it can. And you need to open your mind up to that possibility. You know, things you disagree with or people you disagree with can every once in a while be correct. And this happens to be one of those times. Nike's correct on this one. They're going to end out on the right side of history, which they usually do. Anyways, let me see here. Next thing I wrote down to talk about and share a little bit on is Alex Jones. Now, he was just recently, yesterday, I believe, banned from Twitter, but he had already been banned from YouTube, Google, Apple, Facebook, all of Steam It, you know, Twitcher, all. I don't think Steam It, but Twitcher and all those other streaming services had banned him. All the social media companies besides Twitter had already banned him, and now Twitter's banned him as well. So it's distracting because I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at what you're looking at. And that's very distracting because I'm just So I'm a little too pretty and I distract myself. But what was I talking about? No, Twitter banned Alex Jones. They joined in, so now he's fully blacklisted on social media. He cannot promote or do his show on social media. He still has his show because he does his show from his site, Infowars.com or whatever. But Infowars and Alex Jones are banned pretty much on all social media, which is corporate censorship that I think is equal to book burning. I've covered this before, but I'll act like I haven't just for the sake of filling time because that's all I'm doing right now because I'm waiting for you guys to talk to me. I want to hear what conspiracies you want to talk about. Anything. It can be anything. You can bring up aliens. You could bring up whatever. It don't have to be on topic with what I'm talking about. This goes on for like an hour, this show, and we just talk back and forth. So this is my first time doing it from politics and stuff. I usually do this from my private page. But so what this show is we just talk back and forth. And right now I'm talking about conspiracies just to fill time. And I'm talking about Alex Jones right now and how dangerous it is that this corporate censorship that's going on of Alex Jones. I get that they're allowed to do it. That's fine. It's all well and good. I get that they're allowed to censor him, that they can control who is able to be on their media or on their platform, and that's their right. That don't make it any less scary, because as somebody that does videos on the internet, like Alex Jones, and wants to do these things and make a living doing them, and making videos and entertainment online and being an independent journalist, which he is, whether you want to admit it or not, you don't have to like him, but he has to be allowed to do what he does, because I don't want things or media outlets like RT or not that they ever would, but the Young Turks, if they were really what they say they are, if they were really anti-establishment, they would be on this list, but they're not really. They're controlled opposition. So I don't like the Young Turks anymore. I realized they were controlled opposition during the Democratic primary, right at the end of the primaries. And when they turned on Bernie and they started backing Hillary, and just you could tell, certain branches of them broke off and were more focused in their own areas, like Jimmy Dore. But as far as Sink and them go, and Anna and all that, they're way on board with the establishment agenda. And I think that it was funny watching them on election night. I was watching their coverage. I was back and forth between different places, and I was watching the TYT election coverage, and it was funny stuff. But no one's even commented yet. So, anyways, basically the theme of what I was just saying is you have to be careful what you celebrate. I get that people don't like Alex Jones. I don't really like Alex Jones. Alex Jones does a lot of bad things. People would talk about the Sandy Hook. He was very open that he feels like Sandy Hook was a false flag drill that didn't really happen. And people are very hurt about that. And I can understand that. If your child died in that shooting and somebody's saying it didn't happen, which ain't really what he's saying, but it's easy to take it out of context. It's a sensitive topic. So I get it. I get why people would be upset with him, because that's not the only thing he said that's crazy. He also attacked gay frogs. He said that there was a certain chemical turning them gay. And who knows if that's true? I'm just saying, what about the gay frogs? People never bring them up. People don't worry about the frogs feeling. Oh. No, that is something Alex Jones. It sounds like I'm joking, but he really did. He really does have a theory that there's something being released that makes frogs gay, some kind of chemical I don't know what. I haven't looked into it because, like I said, Alex Jones, I didn't say this yet. I've said it in other episodes, but I didn't say it yet. Alex Jones is controlled opposition as well, which is why I'm kind of surprised that he's being silenced to begin with, because he's kind of working for the establishment in a way. Unless we're wrong and he's not really controlled opposition, either way, he's either batshit crazy or he is being fed bullshit to feed us, to feed those that seek truth, that ended up landing at Alex Jones's InfoWars to get their source of media. But because who knows why people watch him. I knew of him because I watched conspiracy videos, and Alex Jones covers a lot of conspiracies. And people mock me because I bring up Bohemian Grove, because Alex Jones discovered Bohemian Grove. What does that got to do with anything? A broken clock is right twice a day. So it's okay that Alex Jones is the one that got the video of the ceremony of the cremation of care from Bohemian Grove. That's perfectly fine. I've got no problem with that. He also says batshit crazy things, but that's a real ceremony he got video of. He was the only one, first one to get in there and get video of that ceremony. And I'm glad we have that video. Thank you, Alex Jones. That's my point. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So maybe Alex Jones will uncover something else that's important. He's going to get lucky. He's bound to get lucky on accident. At least one more time. Especially since him being silenced makes it kind of look like he's not really controlled opposition. If you're commenting, I'm not seeing it, but this is the time for you guys to comment. We can talk about whatever you guys want. We're going to hang out for about an hour, and we just talk about conspiracies. Right now, I've been talking a little bit about Alex Jones, but we can talk about whatever you want. If you're just getting here, this is Conspiracy Theories and Chill, and that's what we do, is hang out and chill and talk about conspiracies. So I had a request to talk about something, so I'll talk about something else. Hey, Jay. Jay is here. Welcome to the show, Jay. I'm glad to see you here. Bring up a topic, Jay, that you want me to bring up. That's a conspiracy that you like, that you want us to talk about, and we'll get into it. But and anybody else that's coming and just joining us, that's what we're doing right now, is just talking about conspiracies. But I had somebody request something earlier, and it was to talk about aliens, which it's cool that was the picture that was up. But whether I believe in aliens, and the answer to that is kind of twofold, or it has layers. Because yes, I do believe in extraterrestrial beings. But I believe that they're extra dimensional. I believe that they're from another dimension. I don't believe that they're from outer space. And I also don't believe in a lot of outer space. I don't believe in NASA is the way I'd rather say it. I'd be more comfortable saying I don't believe in NASA, and I don't follow mainstream science very much. I mean, I have my education in it, and that's all I need. And I've realized that when I look at certain things, at times me and what I was taught differs. Sometimes what my eyes show me or my senses show me differs from what I've been told. And I have reasons to believe you're being lied to. I believe NASA at least faked the moon landing. So to me, they're capable of anything. To me, that destroys their credibility. So who else do I have to get my information on outer space from? So that's why I don't put much stock in outer space. Plus, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect me. Jay says Atlantis was found. I saw that video, Jay, and I watched when you shared it. I watched about the first 5 minutes of it. But they found a place in Africa, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe it was in Africa that they think was Atlantis. And it fits the description. You can see it from space. It's a big place. But I didn't watch more than 5 minutes of it, so I don't know much more than that. But they found what they believe. We always been looking underwater for Atlantis, but they believe they found it on land. That they found where it was, because what it was 3 rings or 3 or 4 rings. I don't remember exactly what. I'm going to butcher it now, but one's water, then land, and then water, and then land. Right? The land areas are where the cities were. The city of Atlantis was in the land circles, but then it was surrounded by water. And they found this area that closely resembles that. I believe in Africa. Okay, cool. Jay says yes, Africa. I believe in Africa. So, or now I know in Africa. that they believe was Atlantis. So it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna watch the rest of that video later, and I recommend if you thought that was interesting, because that's kind of cool. They finally may have found Atlantis. Oh, I will. I'll watch the rest. Jay says watch the rest. I will. I will. I was busy. I was making the video. I didn't get to show it because the audio sucked. Still haven't fixed that because I'm not even really sharing this from OBS. I'm cheating. You're seeing it. That's why this is at the bottom of the screen. You're seeing what I see when you shouldn't be seeing that. I'm just showing, I'm sharing my screen on Facebook Live. It won't even recognize my camera when I go to OBS. I can't do it. Like, I just haven't been able to figure it out. I'm sure it can be done. That's the way I should say it. I'm sure it can be done. I just haven't figured it out yet. I'll have Babels figure it out. She's smarter than me, and she just ain't home right now. She's at work. But Jay says Atlantis was 2 rings of land, 3 of water. All right. And this place matches that. It was interesting, and I'm going to watch the rest of it. Seek it out and look for it. I forget. Plain Truth. What was the channel that shared it? I thought I remembered it, and I went to say it, and I realized I was wrong, that I don't really remember it. But I'll check back for more comments in a second. I was going to talk about aliens. I don't know if I did or not. Oh, I said, yeah, I believe they're extra dimensional. They're not from outer space. I got sidetracked talking about NASA, and then I looked at the comments. But yeah, I'm going to hit on aliens for just a second. I believe they're interdimensional, and then I also believe they're demons. I have had people get so mad at me because I believe that, but I believe that they're demons, and they're interdimensional. They're not from outer space. So you don't have to agree with me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can disagree on lots of things. As long as you'll find you agree with me on a lot more than you disagree with me on. But I believe that aliens are demons that are trapped here, and that's what people have interacted with, and that's the technology that we have gotten our hands on. I believe in Area 51. I believe that we are using alien technology that we've gotten our hands on, whether it was through them giving it to us or them crashing and us actually getting a hold of it. But I believe in that stuff. I believe that's where a lot of things have come from that seem really neat and advanced, that how we jumped ahead so far in technology wise. That and all of Tesla's work that they uncovered after he died, that they took from him, and everything that he had been working on, the things that they've done based on that work and that research as well. But let me see what anybody's saying. Jay says bright insight. Thank you, Jay. I'll keep talking about aliens for a second. I think I'm almost done with aliens. No one's had any new comments of anything to talk about, and I talked all I could about Atlantis for what I know, but look that up. Anyways, the aliens, I believe that they exist, but like I said, I believe that they're demons, but I believe that they have helped humanity. You know, that's in the Bible even, that they are the ones that taught humanity about certain things, like everything from makeup to tools to, you know, weaponry to all kinds of stuff. Well, it's in a book that is left out of the Bible, I believe. It's in the book of Enoch, but I think the Bible does graze over it. You know, I think I should establish this now since I brought up Bibles and demons. For any atheists that may want to come at me now about this, and I welcome it. I welcome debate. I don't mean this. I said that in a really negative way. I shouldn't have done that. But anybody that's an atheist that wants to come at me about religion, you'll find that I don't know very much about the Bible. I don't put much stock into it. I am a Christian. I do identify as a Christian. But I don't know if Christians would accept me. I have a very, very liberal view of believe Jesus did as well. And that's what I believe. I believe Christianity is following Jesus. And Jesus was a very liberal person. Jesus was a very progressive person. I just haven't read much about him that makes me think that he was any other way. And you're supposed to live your life like Christ. So that's what I try to do as a Christian. Oh, Bright Insight is the YouTube channel. I thought you were complimenting me. Okay, Bright Insight YouTube channel. That's where you'll find the Atlanta story. But Jay says you and Jared Kenyette should do a video. He loves aliens and etc. I would love to do that. He could teach me. He does screen sharing a lot better than I do. So he could teach me something about that, I'm sure. But I would love to hang out with him. You know, I would love to meet more people that do this kind of stuff because I tried this before. You know, I came out and I tried doing these little shows before, but I ended up having to stop for a little while over personal reasons. But I'm back at it now, and I would like to make connections with people like that. One of my main goals coming back out is to eventually connect with Tim Black, get on Tim Black's show, you know, because I want to progress and get my message out there, get more people watching the show, more people commenting. I hope people are liking the show. This is the first time we've come from the politics and stuff page, but I think we're going to do it from the politics and stuff page from now on. If they want us here, it doesn't look like it was super successful. I still think Jay's the only one here, but that's mostly my fault. I should have tagged people, and people will watch later. You know, it's a Friday night, and people have shit to do. It's 5 o'clock. People are driving home from work. It's a bad time to do this. 5 o'clock in the Eastern time zone. It was a bad time to do this as well. But it'll be on the page all day. I'll share the hell out of it. People will share it. Comment later too, because I'll still be here and we'll comment back and forth. And that'll give me fuel to write another video for you guys. And watch the video. I put a link to it in the comments up there. I'm going to do that again right now while I'm thinking about it. So, but yeah, if you got something you want to talk about, go ahead and comment. Oh, there's the video. I don't need to put another link. It's still there. I put it on. There's a link to the video that I made for tonight's show in the comment section here. And I'll share it later on my feed too. But please share that. That's what I want people to share is that video. Because I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, me on things and stuff. And it's just a baby channel right now. I've got like 134 subscribers. But I'm trying to get it up to enough views and enough. Well, now it's view time, how much time people spend viewing your videos. You have to have 50,000 hours, which is a ridiculous amount. But anyways, I'm trying to reach that goal so that I can monetize. Because I want to be able to generate some money for this so that I can afford things like a new speaker to do my streaming better, and new cameras and lighting, backgrounds, things like that. Better internet connection, higher speed internet connection, better equipment. And I don't want to. Last time I did this, I did a Patreon account, and I still have it, but I don't know if I want to use it because I didn't like feeling like I was begging. And yes, this person is an asshole, and I blocked her, but called me out for begging and was like, "How dare you ask people for money?" I don't think it's like that. I think it's like paying for HBO. And, you know, you're talking about $1 a month. I had one subscriber. And you know what? I'm going to be honest right now. I have never addressed this. I had one subscriber. She was with me the entire time. I'm not going to blast her name. But I want you to know that I don't even know if you're still subscribed to me because I have not had the bravery to check it. I stopped doing these videos. I just had like a breakdown. I don't want to go much deeper into that right now. I will at a later time. But I had a breakdown. It was during one of my shows on politics and stuff. To be honest with you, luckily it was all written out so I could just sit there and read it. But I knew during that it was done, that I was done for a while. And it's because I put too much pressure on it and because I did the Patreon, I believe. Because I'm sitting here asking for money and it was bugging me that I only have one subscriber. Just like it's bugging me now that there's not that many people watching this video. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be bugging me. I shouldn't even be paying any attention to that. But it's hard not to. You know what I mean? But this is the part, this is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. If you're just joining us, I see that we had somebody just join in. Talk about whatever you want in the comments and we'll go into it. I know a little bit about most conspiracies. So if you're here, throw out a conspiracy and we'll get into it. I already hit on everything I wrote down. What else can I get into? Let me tell you a little bit more about that video I made. I'm going to hit some highlights real quick that I thought were impressive. I made a video on the Clinton body count. That's the video I made for tonight's show. I didn't get to show it here because the audio wouldn't work. Just like this isn't really being shared over OBS. That's why you can see the bottom control part of the screen. You shouldn't be able to see that if I was sharing it right, but I couldn't figure out how to do that either. So this was the best I could do. And I think it's all right. I think it still looks pretty decent. I've checked it a couple times. Hopefully it sounds decent. I haven't checked that. So anyways, the video I made this week was on the Clinton body count. And I'm going to hit some highlights for you right now, some numbers that I thought were interesting while I was making the video. Of the people that have died around the Clintons, which there's over 56, I only went into 56. And a funny fact about the making of the video I made today, it's 12 and a half minutes long. 8 something minutes of that is off the list of people that have died around the Clintons. just the names and like brief little thing about them and how they died. As quick as I could make it happen, ended up being like 8 minutes of the video is the Clinton body count. And I almost didn't talk about it. I almost didn't talk about it at all because I didn't want to make a video that was 30 minutes long. That was, 20 minutes of me saying people's names. But this was the most respectful way I could cover the Clinton body count because I didn't want to just hit highlights in the video. But anyways, what I was going to do right now is tell you some highlights from the video. I'm over explaining it. But out of the 56 people that have died around the Clintons, 22 of them were their bodyguards. The security or bodyguards or head of security, personnel security. 22 of the people that have died around them, 22 bodyguards of the Clintons have died in strange circumstances. Oh, cool. Jay brought up a topic, Twin Towers. I could talk about the Twin Towers forever, which is good because that's my first topic. Have I really been on for 47 minutes or 37 minutes? Anyways, the Twin Towers right there. The 9/11 is coming up. It's 9/7, so in 4 days. I cannot believe that. I never thought it was possible that at this point in 2018 that it was possible for there to still not be a real investigation into 9/11. I thought for sure that would be over with by now or exposed. It seems like it's even more quiet than ever. It seems like it's not talked about at all. And that's a damn shame, Never forget. These motherfuckers. They twist that up. There's been how many, 10,000 of the first responders that have had serious health issues. We abandoned all of them, just like we abandoned our veterans. We're terrible. Terrible. That's not even any bullshit. But no, 9/11 was an inside job. I don't know how anybody can say that it isn't. But I do know that there are people that do say that there isn't because I was just in a debate with one on a podcast of a friend of mine's, Robert Stanley, The Right to Reason. But so yeah, I know that people will call you stupid. Still, they're not afraid. Conspiracy theorists. You throw that label on somebody, and then it's all of a sudden okay to make fun of them like they are a simpleton. Talk to them like they are a moron beneath you, that they don't deserve respect. You can just shit all over them. You're a moron, piece of trash. That's a funny thing about social media. No one talks the way in real life the way they do on social media. Very few people. I try to remember that don't say something to somebody I wouldn't say to their face. Because why should I do that? And why do I need to do that? Am I so threatened in a debate that I need to personally attack you? I can't hold my own in a conversation without personally attacking you. That says something about me, not you. You don't have to agree with everyone all the time. It's important to remember that. But on 9/11, if you don't think it was an inside job, you're wrong. It's just that simple. You're just wrong. It's clearly an inside job. Everything is wrong with it from the very beginning. And since I'll just quickly remind people, go ahead and comment any topic you want, and we'll talk about that. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And that's just my little ad, and we'll get back to 9/11 right now. But we'll get right into why my big problems with it. I'll just go ahead and gloss over since we're so close to the date. And there probably won't be another one of these before 9/11. Because I've done 3 videos on 9/11, and I wasn't going to do a new video this year because I didn't have anything new to say. You know, like I said, it makes me sad that there hasn't been more disclosure, more exposure to the 9/11 false flag, and that we're still following that agenda. 17 years later, we're still in wars because of it. 17 years later, we're still blaming the wrong people. 17 years later, you know, people are still dying. Internet warriors, Jay says. You're not lying. I get beat up. I did this, like I said, I just did that podcast, and I debated a nuclear physicist, me and another conspiracy theorist. And in the comments, I'm getting torn apart. But they don't ever want to talk about anything of substance. They just want to call you stupid, talk about how much you got owned, that your parents must be ashamed of you, things like that. But they don't want to. They don't want to say anything of any substance. They don't have anything of value to say or to add to the conversation. They don't want to debunk anything you said. They don't want to any of that. They just want to call you a moron and feel superior to you. And that's what the term was invented for, conspiracy theorists. It was invented to keep people from thinking for themselves. Because if you think for yourself, you must be some kind of weirdo nut job that wears a tinfoil hat and believes in conspiracy theories. Well, conspiracies are real. Conspiracy is a real thing. You conspire. You conspire against the bank every time you write a check that a day or so early before you should have wrote it and like, hey, hold on to that until Wednesday. You just conspire with that person against the bank. You didn't have that money. That's just a simple example of a conspiracy. You don't think the rich and powerful conspire to keep their power, to grow their power and influence? That's extremely naive, I feel. Look at them. These people are sick. They conspire. They have their little clubs, their secret societies. And they have an agenda. And that agenda is dangerous, and it's important to take it seriously. If not, you get stuff like 9/11. They'll do that again. They'll do it again. I often wonder what the next target will be. I believe it'll be in the Midwest. I believe they'll some kind of a suitcase nuke type of thing, but it'll happen in the Midwest. And Larry King recently bought the Sears Tower, so kind of have an eye on the Sears Tower. But that's just me. I just believe that they will do it again, that they'll do it again. And I think that their target will be in the Midwest. Jay says he just got kicked and had to prove myself. Fuck him. Kicked from the feed and had to prove yourself? What, like that you weren't a robot? That is messed up. I'm glad you're here. I've been seeing your videos. I love that little teardrop you're building. That is sweet. I wish I knew how to build something like that. Jay's been building this teardrop, and it looks like it was professionally made. I mean, I'd be glad to have that thing. You can go a lot of cool places with something like that. You know, just a nice little place for you to sleep and just explore and go on adventures. It's sweet. You should build me one. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Serious. Build me one. No, Babus could probably do that. Babus can do anything. My labels can do anything. But anyways, you can comment, talk about whatever you want. We're here to talk about conspiracies, and let me look at the time. I'm gonna go for at least 15 more minutes because we do an hour. And I know I picked a bad time to do this. Next time I'll do it later. I almost did this at 7 Eastern, but I went a little early, and I shouldn't have did that because it's a bad time, you know. But like I said, if you come in late, comment still, because not only will I respond, I'll watch this later to see if anybody come in to respond to comments, and I try to be a good host. So talk to me. I'll respond, and we can still talk about conspiracies, and it'll also give me ideas for later for future episodes. But if you want to help me out, like I said, now instead of asking for money and donation, I'm asking people to share my YouTube videos. So I put a link to it in this comment thread. Share that YouTube video. Help me grow my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's the kind of things I want right now to help me out. So I figured I would just ask for a favor. And that's the favor I want. They said, correct, kick. Jay says, correct, kick from feet multiple times. And thank you, Little Home on Wheels. Champagne and I will travel the country meeting fans. Shared because they kicked me. LOL, fuck them. That is funny. They mess with my feeds all the time. I don't think it's my fault. I used to blame my computer because I can't do things like stream from OBS, but it's not my computer's fault. They throttle certain feeds. When you talk about certain things that they don't want you to talk about or you're dropping truth, they throttle your feed. Everybody just saw my cheap ass cigarettes. I smoke the cheapest cigarettes I can buy because if I'm going to do something stupid, I'm going to do the cheapest stupid thing I can do. I'm going to do it in the cheapest way. I'm going to punish myself. I'd rather have a Marlboro, but I'm going to smoke a decade because fuck me. I shouldn't be smoking. I'm stupid for smoking. I'm sorry for cussing, but I shouldn't, every once in a while it's important to. And studies show that if you swear, that you are statistically more intelligent than your average person. More intelligent people tend to swear more often. Science. But let me see if anybody's saying anything. Pearl Harbor. Jay brought up Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was not a false flag, but it was allowed to happen. They knew that was going to happen. Think about moving a fleet the size of the Japanese fleet that attacked Pearl Harbor. Even back then, you had to go past these countries that are allies. They were warned multiple times about this fleet coming towards Hawaii. They just ignored it, and they didn't pass that on to the base. They didn't tell anybody about it, and they allowed it to happen. They knew there was an attack coming, but they allowed that to happen because the average American was against getting into the war. Not after Pearl Harbor. Every major war, even the little ones now, I mean, they do it for everything now, but every major war was started with a false flag type of event. Always to get the public's support. That's what I mean. Like, believing in conspiracies is the sanest thing you can do. It's crazier to not believe in conspiracies. And to mock people just because they believe and think for themselves makes you look stupid. You want to talk about how stupid we are. It makes you look pretty stupid that you just accept everything you're told and never question anything, never think for yourself. How can you do that? Your school textbooks are, everything that's in them is approved. It's not like a person sat down to write a science book. It's cherry picked. So right away, even your school education, your public education that most of us received is flawed, and it's all set around testing, just the ability to repeat and remember information. It's not there to make you smarter. It's not there to make critical thinkers. It's not there to do any of that. It's there to indoctrinate people. That's the entire purpose of our school system. I did an episode recently on cannabis, Jay, and why it's really illegal. Check it out on my YouTube channel, Me on Things and Stuff. I want to grow my YouTube channel. But yeah, the real reason why cannabis is illegal, it has nothing to do with dangers of marijuana. Matter of fact, the marijuana is what they started calling it because that's what the Mexicans called it. When a lot of the Mexican immigrants came over, they were calling it marijuana. We called it cannabis. It was in most medicines that your snake oil salesmen would sell. People had it in their medicine cabinets everywhere. It was widely used. It was widely used during the propaganda campaign. A lot of people just didn't understand that marijuana was the same thing. But yeah, I did a conspiracy theories and chill on that. Like, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos ago. I'll put a link to it right here in the comments, so anybody can check that out later that wants to. I don't know why I'm sweating. But anyways, we're gonna go. I go an hour, so we're gonna go 10 more minutes. And I'm just going to fill time because no one's commenting right now except Jay. And I don't want to, I'll take more comments from Jay. Is there something else you want to hear about, Jay? Why don't we make this the rest of the show about me and Jay hanging out? Maybe we burn one. I'm burning a cigarette, you burn one, and we'll do a burn one on my side instead of your side this time. If you know what I'm talking about if you watch Jay's videos. But anyways, what should we talk about? What should we close out on? Let's see if you said anything. Common Core. Common Core is bullshit to make parents stupid in the eyes of children, is exactly what Jay was saying. I could say more about it. It's more than that. It's also a way, it's also more of the indoctrination, except on a global scale, because the rest of the world doesn't do math the way we do it. You know, a lot of these bigger economies that we want are actually going to be bigger than ours, do math with Common Core. I love you too, Jay. I'm sorry I don't get to hang out more on your videos. I've been so busy working. I wish it was doing stand up, but I've been having to do a real job lately. I'm going to get back out and do stand up. I gave that up for a while too. You know, too long, really. I've given it up for too long. I need to get back to it. But I got to remember and I got to realize that I got to start at the bottom. You know, I can't go back to where I was 12, 13 years ago. You know, I'm going to have to start completely over. And then I'll bring you on me with that journey. I'm trying to decide on different kinds of shows to do, because sometimes I don't want to talk about conspiracy. Sometimes I want to talk about, you know, the Nike ad or Alex Jones, but that shit ties into conspiracy too, because those are conspiracies. That marketing campaign with Kaepernick is a fucking conspiracy. 12 guys sat in a room and came up with that. That was what their idea was, to make the most money. Yeah, they did it because they want to be on the right side of history, but they did it because they know most people support Kaepernick's message. And they knew it was going to be viewed as the right thing to do in hindsight. And it would affect them at first. But I have a secret theory that they knew that would affect them at first, and that they did that because they wanted the stock price to drop and they would buy it up. But I don't know that that's true. I don't know that a lot of stock was bought up. But if a lot of Nike stock was bought up, that would be suspicious. That they did it on purpose, knowing their stock would drop because they knew it would go back up. My cigarette went out. It's supposed to be burning one. Standard ain't no damn standard. I laughed, but I don't really. Oh, metric and standard. Yeah, yeah. We are one of the only civilized countries, that first world type countries, that don't use the metric system. And I don't really understand why. I'm sure there's a reason. Maybe I should look into that. I bet you it's fascinating, and it probably has to do something with the small-mindedness of Americans. But I'm fascinated to know why we don't go along with the metric system, but we don't. I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard to learn it. I think the average person would have a decent enough time figuring it out. I don't think it'd be that much of a struggle. Common Core makes it one way or wrong. That's not life. There are more ways to do things than one, like a robot. Math is universal language, but we butchered it, Jay says. That's a really smart way to say it. Yeah, in Common Core, I wish I knew more about Common Core so that I could explain it better. But what Jay is saying is right. It's a certain way or it's wrong. It can't be the right answer. Like if it asks you 30 divided by 6, you can't say 5. I hope I'm right here. It might be a bad example, but in a lot of the examples I've seen, the kid will write 5, and then, but that's wrong because it's supposed to be 7 because of some other weird fucking reason that don't make any sense. But it's just a rule of common core, and it's stupid. But it's to prepare this generation, the coming generations, to deal on a global scale, because globally that's what's used, and school is nothing more than an indoctrination center. So that's what they're training our kids for. Jay says he has PSD and Asperger's. I don't know about Asperger's, but I do have PTSD, and I'm also bipolar. It's not fun. That's like I talked about earlier why I left. I briefly touched on it, but it was from a breakdown. And it's weird. Dealing with mental illness is weird. And that's why we need Medicare for all. And trust me, it's a conspiracy that we don't have it, because we're one of the only countries, the only country in our bracket financially, or our lifestyle bracket, whatever the word is to say that I'm looking for, we're the only one that doesn't have universal health care. People want to point to places where it's failed, like Venezuela, and say socialism's failed. All right, socialism failed there, but it failed because of us. It failed because of U.S. interference. They don't ever want to talk about the places where it's successful. You don't ever hear them going and talking about Norway or Iceland, these places that thrive under socialism or democratic socialism, which is what we're really looking for. They use the blanket socialism so they can really make it sound evil and bad. They know that that's not what we want. You know, we want taxes to go to the taxpayer, for the benefit of the taxpayer, not to be going up into corporate welfare and where it's going now, to war and corporate welfare. Jay says, there you go, for bringing up universal health care. Yes, we need Medicare for all. And I believe we're going to get it. I believe we could get it sooner if we would just fucking come together and rise up and demand it. But we're so divided. The propaganda is so strong. I've done one on the media before, but I should do another conspiracy theories and chill on the media, because it's that important of an issue. The media controls so much in this country because the media is propaganda. It's nothing but propaganda, and it's fucking legal for them to use it against you. Obama made it illegal. And there's wall-to-wall propaganda and the brainwashing system. And the average person's perception of reality, unfortunately, comes from mainstream media. So the average person doesn't think for themselves. They let Rachel Maddow and Sean Hannity think for them. You know, they get their news from Morning Joe. You know, they want to know what's going on. They turn on CNN or Fox, MSNBC. They don't, there's just flavors of whatever Kool-Aid you're given, but it's all Kool-Aid, and it's all bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what time it is here. Oh, it's about time to wrap up. So what can I talk about to wrap up? I guess let me go back and I'll plug my video real quick and talk about some things I have upcoming in the future. The video I made tonight was on the Clinton body count. And please watch it. There's a link to it up in the comments on this, or down in the comments on this thread. So check it out, and I'll share it to my page, Sean Yankee. Follow me on Facebook if you don't already, by the way. But check out that video and share that video for me, because I want to grow my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow and expand my YouTube channel. And if you like this and you like these kind of shows and you want me to keep doing it, that's what I want. I want, in lieu of donations, if you want to help me out, share that. Share the YouTube link. I would really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that came. Got some stuff coming up. I've got a series on MK Ultra that I'm working on. I can't tell you when it's going to come out. It's going to take me months. I've done it. I've done videos on MK Ultra and Monarch and those things. And but I want to do a really good one. And it's going to be broken up into sections. It's going to be like what am I looking for? Like a serial where we'll do multiple episodes, like three-parter or something. Probably at least a three-parter, 3 30-minute videos. I want to do a good long hour and a half movie on MK Ultra, but I want it to make sure I get in a lot of things that you haven't already seen, And if you're new to MK Ultra, it's still a a good one for you too. But that it's also beneficial to the people that know about it. It's new to them too. There's something for everybody. But anyways, oh, Paul's here. Paul, you just getting here and you just got off work. I picked a bad time to do this, man. But that's okay, because like I explained earlier, I watch these later and I will respond to your comments. And please do comment, because not only will it give us something to talk about in the comment section, we can chit back and forth, but it'll give me ideas for future episodes and things to make videos about. Because I don't want to make these just for me. I'm making these for you guys. I'll make a video if enough people want to see it. I'm open to any topic. So what do you think? I'm going to judge by the likes this gets here in a second. I think I'm on like about a 5-second delay, but I'm going to judge by the likes I get. Should I wrap up or go for 15 more minutes? So I'm going to give this a second and see if, since Paul just got here, if I should wrap up now or go another 15. And if we're going to go another 15, you guys got to give me a topic. So let's see. I'm going to go off likes. So when I see it looks like what I'm saying right now is on the screen, I'll know whether or not I should do another 15 or wrap it up. All right, looks like we get another 15 minutes. I'm going to go until Babels gets off work. Then I got to go because Babels has to work her second job tonight, and I can't be a jerk that's doing a live feed when she gets home from work. You know what I mean? I already had the day off. I look bad enough already. So, no seed in our fucking food. Okay, Jay's been talking about this on Facebook. Real grown food versus what you get in the store and the differences. Like Jay had a post about grapes, where you got the store-bought grapes that are ginormous and look like grapes on steroids, but they've got no seeds in them, and then a real grape next to it, and the differences in how they taste and texture and all that. All of our food is modified. Even organic food, even if you buy organic food, you're getting modified food and radiated food. I don't know if you know that. Even if you shop at Whole Foods, your food's been radiated. It's a sad state of affairs in the world today, But nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. To quote George Carlin, it just goes on, and nobody questions it. People rise up. People get, not nobody. We do. But man, we're a minority. We are outnumbered. And over there, they know that. They exploit that, and they use a manipulation of this term, which is a real term, has a real meaning and everything, is a legit term. They've turned it into something to make you ashamed that you think outside the box. You're a conspiracy theorist. You must be stupid. But no, you're sane. Conspiracy theorists, I've said this before, I'll say it again, probably 10 times, are the sanest people in the room. You're the sanest people in the room because you question what's going on. It's more, you're supposed to fucking question things. Just like as a true patriot, you should question your government. Questioning things is normal. That's why the fuck you have a brain and the ability to think. Sorry, I dropped another F-bomb. But that's why you have a brain. If I only had a brain. You have that brain to think and question things and think for yourself and observe the world around you and be able to respond and react to what you actually see, not what you're being told. Because a lot of what you're being told is bullshit. Paul, is that you? I could watch this stuff all day. Hey, man, I'll go until Babos gets home. How about that? She don't get off work till 5:30. She won't get home till 5:40. I'll go till Babos gets home. But when I hear the door and the dog, I'm gonna have to get up because, like I said, I gotta spend a little time. I only get 20 minutes with Babos today, so as soon as I hear her get home, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. But until then, we can hang out and talk. I'm having a good time. So Jay says, watch Seeds of Death. I will. Check that out. I bet you because it's important. This is important. People make fun of you. Fuck them. Sorry, I dropped another F-bomb, but seriously, fuck them. They make fun of you for being a conspiracy theorist. They are sheep. They are in the dark. They are the ones that should be pitied. I feel sorry for people that don't think for themselves and don't try to become more aware of what's really going on in the world around you, what's really happening in life. Don't want to be more connected to reality, to what's actually happening, and are so close-minded to things like, what aliens even. Is so close-minded. Oh, that's crazy. Why is it crazy? You only have five senses. You don't even experience everything in the world around you. You don't know everything that's going on right around you right now. There are things happening in my peripheral right now that I don't even notice. I don't have the capacity to notice. But I'm going to sit there and think that I know everything and that anyone knows everything, and that somebody that gives me an official story maybe don't have something to gain from me being misled. All through history, you find evidence that it makes more sense to question what you're told than it does to believe it. But they've convinced you that people are stupid if they do that. And I'm not going to let that stop me from thinking for myself. I'll get beat up on YouTube and comment sections and all that, and that's fine. I don't care, because I'd much rather be wrong when because I made a Titanic video. It's my most popular video. It has like 40,000 views, and most of my other videos average around 100. I've never even had another video break 1,000. But anyways, in the video, I talk about the conspiracy that the Olympic and Titanic were switched. All right. And that the Titanic is actually the Olympic at the bottom of the ocean, and that they switched them so that they could use the Olympic was damaged so that they could use the Titanic instead of the Olympic. So it's just a theory. You know what I mean? And it was a badly made video. Hey, Steve's here. Hey, what's up, Steve? It's a badly made video to begin with. I'm kind of ashamed of it. I thought about pulling it down, but it's popular. People comment on it. It gets good interaction. But 99% of the comments are negative. It's always somebody wanting to tell me how stupid I am and how wrong I am. I never said I was right. The premise of this show and the videos I make are always, this is a conspiracy. This is just something that could be true. I'm just throwing it out there so we can kick it around. It might be true. I made a very compelling argument for the switch of the Titanic and the Olympic, but it could also be wrong. It's just a conspiracy theory, which is absolutely fine to have, because conspiracies exist. Conspiracies happen every day, and they're happening all around you. You're involved in conspiracies. Yeah, Jay. Check out my YouTube channel, Me on Things and Stuff. Subscribe. And I got videos about a lot of stuff on there. I stopped making videos for a while, but they're all there. They're archived on my YouTube channel. So if you like any of my videos and you want to check them out, Me on Things and Stuff. That's my YouTube channel, and I would really appreciate it if y'all would come over there and subscribe, watch a couple videos, leave it on while you're at work, just playing on a loop in the background to get my views up to 50,000 hours so that I can get monetization on my videos. That's my goal right now. My goal is monetization on my videos and to appear on Tim Black's show. Those are my two goals right now. So I make those goals. I'm going to set new goals. And I may eventually get back into my Patreon. I may eventually get back into the donations, because that is the only way for people like me to make money doing this. And I think this is something of value. People like this. And there's nothing wrong with asking for donations, because I'm absolutely fine with you watching it for free. Like now, all I really want from you is to share the YouTube video. Check out my channel on YouTube. That's all I'm asking. I'll add a link to this later on, Jay. I don't have a link ready to post in the thing, and I'm probably going to wrap up soon. Well, I got about 20 minutes. Still not going to look for the link. And the reason why is I would disturb the feed too much. It takes me too long. I'm not computer savvy. So not to be rude, but I'll add the link after. But the channel's called Me on Things and Stuff. I need a little dude. Anybody got something they want to speak on about? Let's see what you guys have been saying. Jay says, if people don't speak their mind, it stays there. Right or wrong, it stays there. So speak and fuck them. Another proper use of the F-bomb. You can't concern yourself so much with what other people think. Yes, you should take it into consideration, but it shouldn't be the base and end all for everything you do. I I'm not going to let perception stop me from thinking about certain things or thinking in a certain way just because, ooh, that might take me down a dangerous road. Or, ooh, well, now who am I going to talk to? How am I going to bring up anything in conversation? I'm going to sound like a crazy person. Steve says, what's the channel called again? There's no way, me on things and stuff. There's no way. I know I've been saying it a lot. I know. But that's what I'm really trying to grow right now. So anyone who likes this and wants to check out my videos, check them out there. Check out the link to the one I shared here, and I'll share a link to the YouTube channel. And I'll drop that for a minute. We got some time, so anything you want to talk about, bring it up. Jay says military-industrial complex, so I'll start there. The military-industrial complex is a big part of everything that we do, and everything that we do in our foreign policy has to do with the agenda of the military-industrial complex. And they're extremely powerful and deeply involved in the Illuminati, which, whether you call it the Illuminati or whatever you call it, the group of people that actually control things. I just call them Illuminati because it's easier, but they're deeply entrenched with them, and they all have the same agenda. The war agenda has been going nonstop. I think we've been at war something like 80% of our country's existence. I think the stat is even higher than that. I'm just not comfortable with saying it. I think it's closer to 98%. I think that's the real stat. I went ahead and said it anyway, but we'll say it's high, 78. We'll go 78. Maybe I had it backwards. Maybe it was dyslexic and wrong. We'll go as high as 78% of the time that we've been a country, we've been at war. That's ridiculous. Jay, the Titanic theory, I could go into it. You want me to do that? You want me to, I'll judge by likes. I'll give this 5 seconds because I think there's a delay. But I'll judge by likes. Do you want to hear the Titanic theory, or do you want me to wrap up on, I don't even remember what I was talking about, so now I think you're stuck with the Titanic theory. But we'll see. Let's see here. Let's see some likes if you want to hear Titanic. And then if not, I'll go back into military-industrial complex, which is what I was talking about. All right. Titanic it is then. So the theory is the Olympic, I'm going to have to give broad strokes here, but the Olympic and Titanic are sister ships. They're almost identical. They're a little bit different. Some of their windows are different. There's differences. But the Olympic was finished first, and the Olympic went on its maiden journey first, and it had an accident. It hit a British Air Force ship. I forget the name of it, but anyways, since it was a government vehicle, a military vehicle that it hit, it was the military vehicle's fault. But since it was a military vehicle, the insurance wasn't going to pay out on the Olympic, so it was badly damaged and would have leaned to the left. And even if they repaired it, there would still be damage to the hull. It was just far too expensive to repair the hull, so it would always lean to the left. Just a slight lean to the left. Anyways, they repaired it, and the Titanic still hasn't been released yet. They send it out again. It wrecks into a shipwreck and gets damaged again. I think it gets damaged one more time, but again, I don't trust my memory sometimes. But at least those two. And anyways, then the Titanic gets done. The theory is the damages on the Olympics, it's just beyond anything. They're not going to get much more time out of it. The insurance won't pay out on it. And the second one was their fault. Or no fault, because it was a shipwreck that they hit. So they're not going to get an insurance payout for it. It's a dead issue. So what the theory is that they did was took the nameplate off the Titanic, this is part of the theory too. I'll get to it later. There wasn't a nameplate. They engraved the names on the ships then. But the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean, it has a nameplate for Titanic. The theory is they took that nameplate and put it on Olympic. But like I said, they engraved ship names back then. They didn't use nameplates. But that's neither here nor there. We'll touch on that a little bit later in the theory. But okay, so they have a ruined ship and a twin for the ruined ship. They take the twin ruined ship, they make that the Olympic now, and they make the bad ship the Titanic. Now, they know the Titanic's not going to last very long, but hopefully the third wreck isn't their fault. and they'll be able to get insurance collected on it. I'm not saying they sent out that Titanic voyage knowing it would wreck, but I think they sent it out knowing that it could sink. They knew for a fact that that was dangerous. And if you look at the times, there's evidence that they blocked wealthy people from buying tickets to be on the Titanic. And there's a lot of compelling things, as well as the shadiness of the investigation into the sinking of the Titanic. And the Californian, everything was blamed on the captain of the Californian because he didn't save everybody. But the Titanic wasn't where they thought they were. And I think that's the reason why the Californian wasn't there to save everybody, because the Titanic was 40 miles off course, I believe it was. And the Californian was where they were supposed to be. It's just they couldn't see the Titanic's flares because the Titanic was 40 miles off course from where they were supposed to be. Okay, politics and stuff says each ship has its own dinner bell made for each ship separately. I've heard the bell on Titanic is at the bottom of the ocean is incorrect. I didn't know about the bell, so that's new to me. I would include it if I remake that video, which I've thought about doing. If you watch that video, Jay, on the Titanic on my YouTube channel, let me know if you think I should remake that, because it's real choppy. The editing's bad. I didn't know how to edit very well back then, and I made it in a hurry because I used to make one of these every week, which I've been kind of pacing at that pace right now, but I'm not putting a label on it. I'm not putting any pressure on myself to keep that pace. But I did then, and I had to get it finished to go on air because I did it on a certain day. And you can tell I rushed it. So let me know if you think I should remake it. Jay says, I think you've got something there. It's an interesting, compelling theory. But, like, you know, if you look at the comments, you'll see that I get attacked. Almost like 98% of the comments are negative. And people just talk about how stupid I am. That's not that stupid. That a company would switch to the damaged ship for a good ship because they can't claim insurance on the Olympic. So now you got a perfectly good ship sitting right next to it, looks just like it. You make that the Olympic now, and you can still get money out of it. You send out this other one called Titanic, and if something happens to it, you'll be able to claim it on insurance. And people reported that it had a lean to the left, and it was supposedly the Olympics damage would cause it to have a forever lean to the left, lean to port or whatever. I think it's port. Jay says our whole existence, our whole world and existence is a fucking lie by rich assholes for profit. I want a humanity with knowledge, not lies. Me too. That's why I do this. I want to do these shows, and I want them to take off and get better. And, you know, the technology, my technology on my end will get better. I know I'll do a better job so that I can actually share this where it looks the right way, where you're seeing this whole box only, not everything else, because I'm sharing it good. But you know what I'm trying to say, make it look better. But my other goal is, like I said, to get on Tim Black's show. Just want to be a guest. I think it would be interesting to be interviewed by Tim. I've done my friend Robert Stanley's podcast a couple times. I'd like to do that again too. Hint, hint. But I like being interviewed. I like being part of somebody else's show too. I like not having to worry about setting it all up myself and just being able to have fun and show up and just interact with somebody cool. So I think I might do interviews with people. I'd like to have you on at some point, Jay. I think I might try doing interviews once I get to where I can share the screen better than this and I can use split screen and do interviews. Or if somebody can show me how to do that, I would love to do that. That would be really neat. Jay says back then rich fucks could get away with whatever they could pay for. That's very true. And also back then the shipping industry was very corrupt. It was insurance fraud in the shipping industry was rampant. Not that insurance fraud isn't still rampant, but back then it was, you know, it was a very big issue. And it's very hard to prove. You know, your damage is at the bottom of the ocean. You can't get at it back then. And the place that got hit by the iceberg, I left this out, but that was damaged during the second wreck, or no, the first wreck with the military ship. That's where it hit. That the same area was the same damaged area. And when you watch, if you look at videos or pictures of Titanic leaving port, it looks patched right there in the middle, right around in the middle area. It looks a little darker than the surrounding areas. It looks patched. It's a compelling topic. Call Tim tonight. He takes calls on Fridays. What do you got to use, Skype? Or you just call him on the phone? Because I have a Skype, because I had to use Skype to do Robert's podcast, but I don't ever use it, and I don't remember the login or anything. Paul says if they can junk things and write it off, the owner of the Twin Towers took out a $75 billion insurance policy 5 days prior to the attacks. Larry and Silverstein made a killing off 9/11, and he got to claim it twice as 2 terrorist attacks. So a ton of money was made on 9/11. That's why I don't care if people mock me for believing in conspiracies. I would much rather be wrong 50% of the time than be a fool 100% of the time. And if you don't believe in that the rich and powerful conspire, you're a fool. You know, you want to mock conspiracy theorists and call them the fools, but you're the fool. Conspiracy theorists are the sanest people in the room. We're all in a nut house. And the conspiracy theorists are the crazy ones that see that the world is crazy. The world is wrong. Something's not right. You know? So even if I disagree with a conspiracy, I recognize the fact that that person is thinking for themselves. They're not taking the world at face value. They're not believing everything they're told. Just as Baby's just texted me, I'm going to have to wrap this up. But they're not believing everything that they're told. They're thinking for themselves. They may not be on track with everything. I don't agree with every conspiracy video I watch, and agree with everything I'll cover. But like I said, comment and I'll cover whatever you want me to talk about. I need topics. So I would appreciate your comments. But like I said, I'm going to have to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you watch this later on, like I said, comment still. I will respond to all comments, and I would appreciate if you shared this video, not just this video though, share the YouTube video that I linked in the comment section on the Clinton body count. I made that video for tonight's show, and I wasn't able to show it here, but hopefully you'll check it out. And if you like it, share it. You know, this has been Conspiracy Theories and Chill, live from politics and stuff. Hopefully it stays that way. We stay on politics and stuff. I like having the support of the page. I like being part of the page. So if you're watching this on another feed, come and join politics and stuff, and you'll catch all the videos. Because I think I'm going to do a little bit more as I get comfortable. You know, I'm coming back out of my shell, but I don't want to force it. Sometimes I feel like doing a live video, and I'm like, nah, hold off. You know, so far I've held myself to these conspiracy theories and chills, but I want to branch off and do more. So if you follow the page, I'm going to get a little braver with posting over there. So you'll see me, but you'll see other things too on that page. They share truth over there. So if you like truth, head over to politics and stuff and join that page. If you like this show, I don't know when there'll be another one, but there will be another one, and it will come from politics and stuff. But I haven't gotten to the point where I'm ready to commit to any kind of schedule. I'm still keeping that kind of loose. So in about a week or so, I'll have another one ready for you guys. And I hope to see you here. Thanks again for coming by. This has been Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'll see you next time.